you talk something about your childhood, like when you come to
So I was born in Shanghai. So I came here when I was 10 years old. So I went through the school system, the education system in here. And when I came, there were not many Chinese. There probably be Asian, quite a number of Asian, but still not a very large population. So there's a lot of, but definitely not many Chinese. So initially when I came, I do find it hard to talk to the Aussie student, like the Australian student that's here, because language initially was still a barrier. Gradually, I start to sort of get the hang of my English, become very fluent. Then I meet a lot of second generation people from other culture.
Yeah.
So
I was told lots of ABC, they like group together. So could you describe some reasons for that?
Correct. Because all of us are either born in here or raised in here when we were little. So we were largely influenced by the Australian culture. But we still, as our appearance tells people, we're still Chinese. So the Western people still look at us as somewhat different. They look at us as different people in a way. So they're still in the way, I can't say they're racist, but I did experience some racism when I was in school. So they basically rejected us, would not let us into their culture. And then your own culture, as in my Chinese background, they already see you as an outsider because you're already living and grew up in another country. So they see you as outsider. So you're sort of like one foot in one culture, another foot in another culture. So I think that's what brought all the ABCs together, because we feel that difference. We can relate to each other because we're all ABCs. We can't get into this culture, we can't get into that culture, so we sort of relate to each other. And also language is what's stopping us to get back into our own culture, because a lot of these people can't speak English or can't speak very good English. So we find it very hard to communicate with them, and then the Western people doesn't want to communicate us with that. So these two reasons allow us to gather together as a group. We relate, we do everything together, and then we'll do things where normal Aussies will do, like the kind of activities that they do, we do the same. But all the way through growing up, every one of us experienced some form of racism, small or big, we all experienced it. So in the long run, the good part is, I guess we got someone who we can relate it to. But the bad part is, you are growing up in this culture, so it would be good if you can get into this culture, get into the social circle of this culture. It would be good because you'll be staying here forever, and maybe that'll affect your next generation and your child, who's also going to be completely even more Aussie-nized than I have been, because I still have a bit of Chinese culture around me. It's also affecting the family life, because our parents are raised in one culture that is something very different to what we raised in the culture in here. So we'll fight with parents sometimes because they have different set of principles, different set of values. So it's a constant daily struggle with our parents, because they will constantly put the Chinese culture on us while we're at home. But once we leave home, you're facing and you're exposed to the Australian culture. So that's why I constantly struggle to balance between the two cultures. We all find it very hard.
Do you find it's really hard? Do you find it will affect your employment? It's really hard to find a job if you...
For us, depends on what job we are looking for. I think some jobs will be very easy for us because language is not a problem. Some jobs, yes, a bit. I think some high skilled, high tech jobs where it requires a lot of thinking, a lot of knowledge, a lot of talent. I believe we are a little bit, say, not as smart, I guess. We're smart, but we're not as smart as some of the Chinese people because they tend to study a bit more, they have more IQs on them. But overall, they can have problem finding jobs because the language is the biggest barrier. But for us, the boss probably initially will look at you as Chinese, but once you can speak the language fluently to express yourself, express your talent, they will change their mind, they're willing to listen. So it depends on what job you're looking for. But some jobs I know we have struggled a bit because we don't have the qualification, because we don't study that much as other Chinese people. Those new migrants would do because they will focus on study. They'll study everything, all the hardest subject. We don't.